over the Eagles, rushing for 281 yards. Bears, the current number 1 seed in the NFC, while the Eagles lead in the NFC East, dropped to just a game and a half, over the surging Cowboys. Eagles, are in this situation where Ben Johnson's ripping off his shirt post-game, and it's a whole thing, right? But when it comes to this game, you were at the game on Friday, Dan. What is going on with the Eagles, specifically when it comes to their pass game?
Well, I would tell you, if they're going to get one-on-one coverage on the outside, they'll be fine. I think that this is always the studio. I think that's what you saw later in the game. One, because they're in the gun so much, his feet aren't consistently tied to the concept of the route because you can't do that on a consistent basis. Two, they're not on the same page. That's an all-out pressure. Devontae breaks it in. He thinks he's going to sit. They're oftentimes calling pass concepts for the ideal coverage, and if they don't get the ideal coverage, then they're kind of at a loss for answers. So it needs a more consistent timing with his feet. He's ready to build concepts that are good versus multiple coverage rather than just a singular ideal coverage.
I don't have much to say outside of what you just said, that last part. And we've had the conversation about this before. Wrinkles. They got to figure out a way to pre-snap, set some things up, not only for Jalen, but also for AJ and Devontae. And then the turnover on the tush push was big as well. This team right now is imploding from within. You still look at the game and you say there are a lot of plays to be made by the Philadelphia Eagles, but it feels like they can't get out of their own way from a football standpoint. Now, everybody talks about the mental part and all of that. I got it. I understand. AJ not happy. All of those things are going on. But when you actually turn on the tape, they still have a lot of plays that
I don't love the play calls all the time.
Right.
But they're not as bad.
They're not as bad as you would think. Right. And it looks so bad in a game like that because you can't convert a third down.
Right.
And you struggling and you turning it over in situations where you used to scoring. But I still think Philly, it's almost like they got to see some shots go down when it comes to their offense. I don't think they are as bad as people think they are, but I also would love to see them try to create a little bit more pre-snap just to help Jalen and these wide receivers out.
That's the offensive side. What about the defensive side, Mina? What's going on there?
Yeah, they just got physically dominated in this game, and a lot of that has to do with the competition. I'll save that because we're going to talk about Chicago, which is really a joy to watch. Talk about wrinkles. Oh my God, what they're doing in the run game. But some of it is by design. This Eagles defense plays with the lightest boxes of any defense in football. And, that's their style, right? They're going to let you run on them a little bit. But I do think you saw a bit of a vulnerability. The front got pushed around in a way that wasn't just structural. It wasn't just design. And I think if you go against a team there's not that many teams in the playoffs, but if they were to play the Bears again, for example, I would predict a similar result, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you think about them, they've got to get this figured out, and they've got some time to do it. But a third straight loss would match the longest losing streak. I haven't checked this out from Adam Schefter. In an effort to continue to help transform the landscape of women's flag football, I love this, Jets owner Woody Johnson and the Betty Wold Johnson Foundation are making a groundbreaking $1 million grant to the Eastern College Athletic Conference. The move will help fund a 10-team collegiate women's flag football league that will launch in spring 2026 at schools like Allegheny College, Mercy, Montclair State Universities. Jets linebacker Quincy Williams saying now women will have a chance to experience what college football gave so many of us: competition, community, and growth. Just really cool. I love to see it. Let's go to Chicago now, where the Bears have received tremendous production out of the retooled offensive line as the unit ranks top 5 in both pass and run block win rates. While their run game has taken off, they haven't had the same success through the air. Bears head coach Ben Johnson did not mince words yesterday when talking about his team's struggles in the pass game despite the team's 4-game win streak.
Everybody's got a role to play to get this pass game cleaned up. It's not where it needs to be. We're winning in spite of our passing game, not because of it, and none of us are pleased with that right now.
Okay, let's get our Bears reporter Courtney Cronin in here. Thanks for joining us, Courtney. Johnson spoke again today. Did he clarify those comments at all?
He did, Laura, because he knew that could be construed as him not being happy with the way that Caleb Williams is playing as of late. He said that is so far from the truth, so far from how he viewed how Williams played in Philadelphia. He said it was one of his best games operationally. There were moments where even he bailed Ben Johnson out of messing up a play call, and that you can take the stats, you can throw them out the window. We know it says 47.2 completion percentage. It's about how Williams managed the game in the elements, managed the run game at that as well. And that is step number 1 for a young quarterback. But even Williams knows that this passing game isn't where it needs to be. And he said there are 2 things in particular that he's focusing on to get it on track.
I think it ties into exactly what he said is route discipline, and then ball location. Obviously, everything. I miss a pass, and it's it looks a certain way, and to everybody, and everybody doesn't know all the details, and that's a part of quarterback. Obviously, being able to make consistent plays, routine plays, and I think that's what I've been trying to focus on for myself, is just make the routine plays.
And Williams said that this passing game is so close to hitting. Obviously, there are plays that he wants back. There were 2 to the right side, 1 to DJ Moore, 1 to Rome Odunze, that really stuck with the quarterback as they went through the game film from Philadelphia. But he said that that's the beauty of being able to watch it evolve over the course of the season. There are moments where you feel like it's not hitting on all cylinders, and there's moments where you feel like you can't miss. And we'd be remiss to say that Caleb Williams has been struggling all season long. I mean, you saw him throw 4 touchdown passes against the Dallas Cowboys. I know we're talking about Ben Johnson getting everybody free hot dogs in Chicago. That's what started it 2 months ago after week 3. Caleb Williams threw 3 touchdowns in that win over the Cincinnati Bengals, over the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's making sure those little details, what he calls his 111th, is on track this week to be able to get this passing game on track in another game that could feature the elements at Lambeau Field.
Oh, definitely. Love a free hot dog. Thanks, Courtney, for joining us here. And a lot to unpack in Chicago for a team currently sitting atop the NFC. Dan, is it right to have concerns about the pass game
I
right
don't
now?
think concerns. It's what's the standard and how do they get them there, because the run game's gotten there. I loved when Caleb's comments were about route discipline and ball location, because we've talked about his evolution this year and what's gone well and what's not. And then you go back to the Philly game and there's some misses. And is it on the route discipline or lack thereof? Is it on a ball being a little bit off? And I think Ben Johnson's trying to set the table for this is what our pass game should be. This is how that pass game has to evolve and get better. Okay, down in the red zone. Loveland hesitates a little bit off the line, but that's DJ Moore. It's zone. Throw this ball to him right now. Caleb's peeking. He peeks left. DJ's now late. Okay, that's a waste. Then you go to the second one. Underneath center, DJ Moore has a spray out. This one, I would tell you, Caleb, you could probably take another quick hitch to give yourself a chance. Because that ball is out so early that this is going to be a missed throw inside instead of to the sideline. But DJ's going 5 or 6 yards deeper before that ball ever comes out. Is the timing on that one right? Down in the red zone. He peeks left, then comes back and looks to the right, and you feel this condensed, those 2 bodies next to each other isn't good spacing. Now Caleb goes into a little bit of a panic mode. Odunze's going to be wide open, but I think because of that, he's falling down and misses that throw. So I would tell you it's not all on the quarterback. All 3, the first clip, on the quarterback, take the easy throw. The second clip, there's no way that the timing of that concept should be DJ Moore goes 6 yards further after the ball releases the quarterback's hands in the route. And then that last one, are those 2 receivers supposed to be right next to each other? And then as a quarterback, you're like, oh my gosh, now I'm in panic mode because I don't want a negative play to happen.
I love that tape because when I watch the Bears passing game so often, it feels like the details are like a little bit off, and it's not just in the quarterback, as you point out. Whereas when I watch the run game, I'm like, all of these details are perfect. It is a symphony, and they've mastered that to the point where, honestly, yes, I do think the pass game needs to be better, but outside of Seattle, is there a defense in the NFC this team can't run on?
Yeah.
The offensive line is completely dominating. Drew Dahlman in particular against the Eagles was absolutely unbelievable. Just tremendous winning against a very difficult defensive tackle duo. All of the motions, they create such favorable blocking angles, and they're constantly displacing second-level defenders. And then the sequencing, everything looks the same, right? Like the play-action pass looks so much like the run that it's actually helping the run because you can see defenders worried about some of these players out as potential passing options. So, yeah, it has to be better. But right now, this run game leads the entire NFL in success rate. I mean, they're
55
just an absolute transformation.
against Philly.
Against Philly.
It's music to your ears. Mina called it a symphony.
And it's a lot of what we saw from being in Detroit. It's a lot of quick hit run game. They don't spend a lot of time duoing and hanging on the defensive linemen. They trying to gain leverage
Lateral run game.
and let their backs find and pick their pocket. And it makes you panic as a defense because you're actually playing the right technique. The technique is working against you, though. Penetration is what works against Ben Johnson, but it's so hard because your keys are happening so fast. As D linemen, we love, like duos are duos, right? You get a lot of body weight on you and they move you, but those are easy blocks to play. But when you got a center chopping your hand down and getting to the second level right now, and the guard and the tackle air is this wide right on the snap, and if you really pay attention to how they run the football and the type of backs that he likes, that's why they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs years later when we were sitting there at the draft. But it's because you want backs that's all quick hitters. I thought DeAndre Swift would be better in this. He did a lot of this in Georgia. He was their big, quick hit guy.
Monanga's been great too.
Monanga has been great, more physical than DeAndre. But both of these guys are ripe for what Ben Johnson does, it's a very, very difficult run game to play against because sometimes your technique is not the answer.
You know, maybe this is top of mind because we had the Giants last night and they're going to be looking for a new head coach. But all of these teams so far that are looking for openings or looking for new head coaches, every single one of them, I keep thinking they just need a Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, are there more
I
like
have
Ben
for
Johnsons around?
a year or two said if you're hiring and you don't hire someone from that tree,
yeah.
I think you're out of your mind to not run that offense right